The diner clock ticked softly above the clatter of dishes, and the scent of frying bacon hung in the air like a warm blanket on a cold morning. It was a quiet Friday afternoon in Willow Creek, a small town where everyone knew everyone, until a group of wealthy teens stormed in, laughter echoing like thunder through the glass doors. Among them was Amber Vale, 19, the daughter of real estate tycoon Gregory Vale, whose family owned half the land in town. With her glossy blonde hair, designer heels, and arrogance sharp enough to cut glass, Amber walked like she owned the place. Behind her trailed her friends, all dressed in expensive clothes, each one laughing louder than the next. At the counter stood Lydia Shaw, a 26-year-old waitress who had been working at the diner for nearly 6 years. Her apron was faded, her hands rough from long hours, but her smile, that gentle unwavering smile, was her armor. Everyone loved Lydia, especially for her kindness. She never lost her calm, even when people were cruel. Amber dropped her handbag onto a booth with a heavy thud. "Excuse me," she snapped. "Can someone clean this table? It's sticky." Lydia hurried over, wiping it down with a soft smile. "Of course, dear. I'll have it ready in a moment." Amber gave a disgusted look. "Don't dear me," she sneered. "You're not my grandma." Her friends laughed. Lydia said nothing, just smiled politely and handed them menus. They ordered, each more entitled than the other, lobster omelet, truffle fries, imported soda, items that barely fit on the modest menu. Lydia wrote it all down patiently, knowing full well they'd likely never tip. When she brought their food, Amber frowned at her reflection in the spoon. "Ugh. Is that grease on this? What kind of dump is this place?" Before Lydia could answer, Amber suddenly picked up her glass of soda and in one horrifying instant, spat into Lydia's face. The diner went dead silent. The sound of laughter died. A fork clinked onto a plate. Somewhere near the counter. Amber smirked. "Maybe that'll teach you to bring something clean next time." Lydia froze, eyes wide, hands trembling. Soda dripped down her cheek, mixing with the tears she tried to hold back. Her voice cracked when she whispered, "I'm sorry, miss. I didn't mean to upset you." From the far corner of the diner, a deep voice broke the silence. "Apologize to her." Everyone turned. At a large corner booth sat a group of bikers. Big, broad-bearded men in leather jackets emblazoned with flaming skulls and the words Hell's Angels, Willow Creek Chapter. Amber's friends went pale. The one who spoke, Ryder Cole, the chapter leader, stood up slowly. His 6 feet 4 inches frame seemed to fill the room as he stepped forward. His arms were covered in tattoos, and his gray eyes burned like cold steel. Amber laughed nervously. "Oh please. Don't tell me you're taking her side. She's just a waitress." Ryder's jaw tightened. "That just a waitress once brought my daughter free soup when she was sick. She's the reason my kids smiled when I couldn't afford medicine." He looked around the room, voice low but lethal. "You spit on her, you spit on us." Amber's laughter died. The other bikers stood up, one by one, a wall of silent fury behind their leader. The diner owner rushed in. "Guys, please. Let's not." But Ryder didn't move closer. He just stared Amber down until she looked away. "You've got 2 choices, princess," he said quietly. "Apologize to Lydia, or leave this town knowing you disrespected someone 10 times the person you'll ever be." Amber's throat tightened. Her friends whispered for her to just do it. Finally, she mumbled, "I'm sorry." Ryder crossed his arms. "Louder." Amber swallowed. "I said I'm sorry." Lydia nodded softly. "It's okay, dear. I forgive you." But something about her calm made Amber's stomach twist. She turned red, muttering to her friends, "Whatever. Let's go." They stormed out, slamming the door behind them. The room erupted in applause. But as Lydia walked back into the kitchen, her smile faltered. Her hands trembled as she wiped her face. For the first time in years, she felt small. She didn't see Amber again that day, but fate had other plans. A week passed. The story spread like wildfire through Willow Creek. Everyone knew what had happened at the diner, and everyone had an opinion. Amber tried to ignore it. She scrolled past the whispers online, the stares at the mall, the friends who suddenly didn't call anymore. Her father, Gregory Vale, had been furious when he heard. "Do you have any idea what you've done to our family name?" he yelled. Amber tried to argue. She embarrassed me first. Gregory slammed his hand on the table. She works for a living. You humiliated someone who's done more good than you've ever tried to. You will make this right. Amber didn't know how. Until one rainy night, her car broke down outside of town. She called her friends, no answer. She tried her father, voicemail. Her phone battery was dying, and the storm grew heavier. She saw a faint light ahead, an old roadside diner. When she stepped inside, soaked and shivering, she froze. Lydia was there. Alone, cleaning the tables after closing. Their eyes met, the silence thick with memory. Amber's voice trembled. You still work here? Lydia smiled softly. Of course. Someone's got to make sure the place runs. Amber looked down. I shouldn't have come in. But Lydia just motioned toward a chair. Sit down. You look cold. Amber hesitated, then sat. Lydia poured her a mug of hot cocoa. The warmth spread through Amber's hands, and something cracked inside her. The girl who once mocked kindness now felt small in front of it. Lydia spoke gently. You're Gregory's daughter, right? Amber nodded. He said I ruined our name.
Lydia chuckled softly.
Sometimes, ruining your name is how you find who you really are. Amber looked up, confused. Lydia took a deep breath. You know.
You said to be rich too.
Before my husband's company went bankrupt.
We lost everything. The house, the cars, even our dignity.
I worked here ever since, but I never forgot what it meant to have nothing. Tears welled in Amber's eyes. I didn't know. You didn't have to, Lydia said kindly. But now you do. Outside, the rain softened to a whisper. Amber reached into her bag and took out a small box. Inside was a bracelet, pure silver, engraved with the words "Forgiveness is freedom." I made this for you, Amber said quietly. I've been trying to say sorry since that day. Lydia smiled, eyes glistening. Thank you, dear. But you already did, the moment you walked back through that door. As they sat there, sipping cocoa under the flickering diner lights, something beautiful bloomed between them, a friendship neither expected. When Amber left, she hugged Lydia, genuinely, fully, like someone who finally understood the weight of a heart healed by kindness. But that wasn't the end. The next morning, Lydia came to work to find 3 brand new kitchen stoves, a refurbished counter, and a sign outside that read, Lydia's Diner, sponsored by Vale Industries. And beside it, a handwritten note. Thank you for teaching my daughter what money never could, humanity.
Gregory Val.
Lydia smiled through her tears, whispering, You're welcome. That day, the whole town came to eat. And when the Hells Angels rolled in, parking their bikes outside, Ryder winked and said, Told you, sweetheart, kindness always wins. The diner filled with laughter again.
Not the cruel kind, the real kind.
And somewhere in the back, Lydia whispered to herself, It takes one small act of kindness to change an entire life. Sparkling Heart, if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories.